Hello, welcome to your weekly Pick Your Crystal reading here at Soulprint. Today we are working with a Smoky quartz, a clear quartz, and an amethyst. They're all points. So black, clear, purple in the notes below for your time. So just take a moment. One, two, or all three may resonate with you, and make your pick or picks. And let's get started. All right, so we're going to start with the Smoky quartz. Scan that up. And here we go. Okay, Ace of Pentacles, Justice, Chariot, the Fool. Okay, so make note of this. You have 3 High Arcana cards and then powerful Ace card. So let's take a peek and see what the message is for this week. So it's interesting, right? Because you've got Justice following the Ace of Pentacles. And so the Ace of Pentacles is about money and possessions, new money coming in, new start sometimes, a successful business venture. Sometimes it can be about important documents or a gift, but it's definitely a card connected to abundance. The fact that it's being followed by Judgment makes me wonder if for some of you, this isn't pertaining to some sort of a legal matter. It could be the sale or the purchase of something. It could be the settling of some sort of a account or estate or lawsuit. And it's interesting because the Chariot sitting here it's almost like it's funny. Sorry, I'm stuttering and mumbling here. I apologize. It's as if the Chariot is saying this took so long to get through, and like, boom, all of a sudden it's done, and all of a sudden everything's moving really, really fast. The Fool sitting here is sending you 2 messages. The first message is literally be mindful of the choices you make. Don't kind of make, foolish decisions with this abundance that's coming in. But the second part of that message is, don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself a little bit. So this really is, it's simply talking about being mindful of the choices you're making and what you're doing, and acknowledging that, sometimes when we have to wait for something for a while for it to settle or sort itself out, when it starts to move and process, it can happen so fast that it actually feels sort of, just chaotic. So that's what you've got here. Whatever this is, though, it feels like justice will be served. So it very much feels like you're going to be pleased with the results, and that abundance is going to carry you forward and carry you through. But again, be mindful that you don't become frightened to try new things, but that you also are careful. It's a pretty thing about kind of what happens when people come into an unexpected or a larger sum of money. One of 2 things happens. Either they become incredibly miserly and they don't spend it, and they become very, very frugal and cautious with it, or because there is that flash of abundance, it sort of feels like the money is never going to run out, and it's just always going to keep coming. And if it is a one-time event sort of situation, it's not going to keep on coming. And so you want to be careful about where that money goes, or where whatever the pentacles represent goes, whether that's a business venture, whether that's some sort of a gift you're expecting, something new coming into your world. So enjoy it. You've waited, scales have been balanced, and now it's time for you to move forward, maybe carefully. Alrighty. Next one is this 2-sided clear quartz. Here we go. We have the Queen of Pentacles, Five of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and the High Priestess. Okay. So, the Queen of Pentacles energy is, it's about a woman of worth, but this is somebody who is practical. This is somebody who is very capable. This is somebody who manages assets very well, whether it is in a bank account or any other sort of assets, perhaps, stock, and they're monitoring those, or perhaps there's property involved and you're watching to see how the prices and the market are going to affect the value of, whatever the property is you're looking to sell or purchase. The Five of Wands it's a kind of a funny energy. It's sort of like it's a conflict energy. Sometimes there's competition, but it's not like serious. It's staticky energy, where people are just kind of just sort of like aggressive with no real force behind it, if that makes sense. It's a cranky energy. The Eight of Pentacles is talking about, working hard, being very consistent. Sometimes it can be about something new coming along, a new job or money-making venture, but from an existing talent. So this is about continuing to work, continuing to move forward, and utilizing the skill set that you have. Perhaps one that you never thought of, even as a sort of a way to, to make some money, to bring some additional funds into your world. Now, the High Priestess, she's kind of an interesting one because she is about like following your intuition and listening to your inner self. But there is also sort of a cautionary energy of knowing that sometimes secrets that are being held may somehow end up getting exposed or released. So what we've got here is, an energy where there seems to be like I almost want to say like a settling, almost as if perhaps there's some sort of a new beginning that you have started. Maybe you've moved and you've moved into a new residence, or you've started a new job, or you've, reactivated a hobby that you really love. You may get, a little bit of static. People are saying, well, why did you do that? And why aren't you doing that? And how come you're doing it that way? You can always listen to somebody, but it doesn't mean you have to become involved in some competitive conversation with them where, you already know before it starts, it's not going to win. So that's when you can say things like, well, thank you so much for your opinion, and let it go. Whatever this is, this Eight of Pentacles, it has value, it has worth, and it's a good thing to move forward. And as you're moving forward with that, follow your instinct, follow your gut. Listen to that inner voice. Is it possible that there may be something that you have been holding in reserve, and you realize that it may now be time to share that information or let that secret be known? Whatever this is, it's sort of an interesting grouping of cards, because on the one hand, it's talking about sort of kind of, moving forward with abundance and earthly possessions, keeping them organized, keeping them sorted out, making sure that you don't end up in some silly competition with somebody. It's not worth it. And the High Priestess is about making sure that you're checking your instincts and your intuition, particularly if there is something that has been hidden that is coming forward. Okay. And this beautiful amethyst. Here we go. All right. 7 of Cups. Knight of Swords. The Hermit. 9 of Pentacles. Okay. So the 7 of Cups is very often about having to make choices or decisions when you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. When you're feeling like you have to make a decision, but you don't know which way to go. You don't know what your best choice is. Sometimes this is sort of about making a silly choice or a foolish choice, but mostly it is about just kind of not knowing what to do. You know, sometimes we have too many options in front of us, and then we kind of just freeze because we're not sure kind of what direction that we want to go forward in, or where it's going to lead us to the place that we sort of really want to get to. Now, you have the Knight of Swords following that, and this is indicating some fairly swift movement. And, you know, don't forget, swords have to do with power and conflict, law. It has to do with your thoughts and your ambitions. It can also have to do with government or people in uniform. So this is an energy that's coming forward, and perhaps either this energy is going to help you find the clarity you need in terms of making this choice, or it's going to confuse you even more. But what's following is the Hermit. And so the Hermit is asking you to just take some time and think carefully about the choices and the decisions you make. It may be time to pull back and, you know, give yourself the opportunity to look at things in a sort of a calmer light. Look at things from a couple of paces removed, so you're not feeling quite so overwhelmed. It feels very much like this is a really important decision or groups of decisions that you're trying to make, because you're trying to get yourself here to this 9 of Pentacles, which is, you know, that abundance, right? The 9 of Pentacles is financial success. It's you know, material security. It is sort of an energy of being able to live independently in your own way, the way you want. So these choices are important. Basically, what this is saying is if you're feeling overwhelmed, it may very well be time to make no decision right now. Just pull back. Give yourself a little bit of time to sort of regroup and to figure out what actually works for you. The 7 of Cups and that Knight of Swords, I mean, that really is sort of indicating that sense of confusion and not knowing which way to turn or what choice to make. And the Knight of Swords just has a little bit of like a panicky energy to it because it's moving so quickly. And so if you're trying to make a choice and you are, you know, feeling that you don't have enough information or you're not sure which is the right choice, the guidance here is to just step back, take a couple of deep breaths, figure out where you want to go, what you're trying to achieve, where you're trying to get, and then almost like reverse engineer it back to the original choice to see which choice is going to serve your highest good. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here today at Soulprint. Enjoy an amazing, amazing week ahead. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now.